Hi, my name's Simon Chesterman and I'm Dean of the National University of Singapore Faculty of Law. Welcome to our e-Open House for 2020. I'm sorry I can't welcome you to our campus in person, our beautiful campus nestled next to the World Heritage listed Botanic Gardens, but hopefully in these videos you'll have a chance to see a little bit about our campus, a little bit about us, and maybe to think whether you would be part of our future. Now, we style ourselves at the National University of Singapore Faculty of Law as Asia's global law school. And really all those words combine to embrace three distinct identities that we have. First and foremost, we are the National Law School. We're the oldest law school. Our alumni include the current Chief Justice, Attorney General, Minister of Law, and so on and so forth. We produce the majority of Singapore's lawyers, and that's our first role. But we're also a global law school. We aspire to being one of the best law schools in the world, and we're among the top-ranked institutions globally. What that means for our students is opportunities. Opportunities to go on exchange globally to more than 50 partner institutions in 20 countries and regions, and also opportunities in terms of employment, both within Singapore and later on. Thirdly, we are also an Asian law school, and that also creates opportunities for our students that is distinct from opportunities they get if they go off to England to study, for example. Because what a graduate of NUS Law has is an understanding, obviously, of Singapore, but also of the region, and that creates opportunities globally, regionally, and nationally. Maybe you want to be part of that. So how should you choose whether law is right for you? Well, let me start by giving you some bad reasons. Don't just study law because you got the grades. There are plenty of opportunities for smart people in the world. Law may or may not be right for you. Don't do it just because you've got a fistful of A's. Don't do law just because you want to make money. There are easier ways to make money in the world than being a lawyer. Don't choose law just because you think you're going to be powerful and control the world. It doesn't always work out that way. So why might you think about studying law? Well, if you're like me when I was a student, what really interested me was understanding power, understanding how we regulate society, how we maintain the rule of law as opposed to the rule of the jungle. Secondly, if you're interested in words, if you love reading, writing, speaking, then maybe law is something that you can deploy those words to make a career and make a difference. And that's linked with the third reason to study law, is that lawyers do make a difference. Law is a means of maintaining justice, maintaining order, achieving equality. And so if these things interest you, if this is part of your passion, maybe law is for you. So maybe you've decided, yes, I want to study law, but should I study at NUS Law? Well, let me give you a couple of things to consider. Basically, that we offer opportunities globally and locally, and we offer a radically different educational model. In terms of opportunities, our alumni include not only the judiciary and the Attorney General, but also partners in all the major law firms, not just in Singapore, but in places like Hong Kong, Shanghai, London, and New York. We also have graduates who go on to other careers, entrepreneurs like Tan Min Liang, who runs Razor, people who become diplomats like Tommy Koh, or playwrights like Ivan Heng and Eleanor Wong. So all of these are opportunities that we cultivate through an educational model that is very different from what you've experienced at junior college. Because when you come to university, and when you come to law school in particular, the model of education in many ways is flipped on its head. In a lot of schooling, especially secondary school, the job of the teacher is to teach you answers that you are then tested on in an exam, whether you can find those answers in exam conditions. Law school, often, we don't really care what your answer is. What we're interested in is how you justify it, how you think, the critical analytical skills you bring to a problem. Because the reality is that for many students, certainly the good students in law school, just answering the questions isn't enough. I mean, I tell my own students, if you can answer my questions in class, fine, you're an okay student. If you can predict my questions, then you're a pretty good student. But the best students, the ones that I remember, are the ones who ask me questions I'd never even thought of. And that's really what education at university is about. We're seeking to have an opportunity to explore new issues, new careers, new research potential with our students. And that is why it's so important that we have high-ranking faculty who are experts in research. Because people who are experts in the research are very good at identifying novel questions and routinely work with students. That's true whether it's in our Centre for Maritime Law, our new Centre for Technology, Robotics, AI and the Law. The opportunities in banking and finance law are linked with the skills of the faculty, not just in giving you information. You can get information on the internet. It's about coming up with new questions together with you. And that's why it's such an exciting place for me to work, because even though every year we're running a similar academic program, that program's never really the same. First, because the law changes, circumstances change, we have to adapt. But secondly, most importantly, the great thing about NUS Law School is every year we have an influx of incredibly bright young men and women who help us see the law anew, see our research questions anew, and it reminds us why we started studying law ourselves in the first place. So maybe that's of interest to you, maybe you want to be part of this, and maybe I'll see you on campus sometime very soon. Thanks very much.